Hello everyone, I'm Mr. Mwiko from Intraport School and I'm a teacher of business studies. And in business studies, today we're looking at commerce grade 11. And in commerce grade 11, we're looking at warehousing. Okay, so for us to better understand what warehousing is, let's look at the objectives and the success criteria that we have set for this subject. So what are the objectives? The objectives, we want to learn what warehousing is. Okay, that's the first objective, and why warehousing is important. So at the end of the lesson, I expect that you should be able to clearly define warehousing and explain its importance in the commerce. I hope that is clear. Okay. So what is warehousing? So warehousing, we're simply saying, is the provision of ample accommodation and protection to goods from the time they are produced up to the time they are sold to the final consumer. So what do we mean by this? We mean that warehousing is simply the protection that you give to the goods. So warehousing is a service. You are protecting the goods. And how are you protecting these goods? By putting them in a warehouse. A warehouse is a building. The two are not the same. Warehousing is a service, whereas warehouse is a building. Okay? I hope people can differentiate the two. Okay? So the first importance is that it provides storage for the seasonal goods such as raincoats, jerseys, Christmas cards, and the like. So seasonal goods are goods that are produced not throughout the year, but in some parts of the year. So like jerseys are needed because of the cold season, but companies will not stop producing them because the cold season has passed. They'll keep on producing them and put them in the warehouses. Christmas cards, we only have one Christmas a year, and it's not like after that Christmas has passed, then they're going to stop producing those cards. They'll produce them and store them in the warehouse. That is why warehousing is important. The second reason as to the importance of warehousing in trade is that it provides storage for goods in transit. So goods in transit, I'm sure you saw to say amongst the keywords were Intraport Trade. So goods in transit that are at the port. So other businesses will import goods in which are not meant to be sold within Zambia, but they are meant to be sold in other countries. So that is what we refer to as Intraport Trade, because it's just storing goods at the port, then re-export those goods to other countries. Okay. The other importance is that it allows production to take place ahead of demand. Ahead of demand means that before anybody can actually look to buy the goods that are being produced, the companies will produce them and put them in warehouses so that whenever you need them, they are readily available to you, the consumer. Okay? The other importance is that it ensures continuous production of goods. So production ahead of demand and continuous production and production of seasonal goods, this point ties all the three together. Okay? Yeah. The next point is that it evens out prices or stabilizes prices. So demand and supply. The curve is that if there's demand, the prices are going to go up. If there's no demand, the prices go down. If there's supply, too much supply on the market, the prices obviously go down because a lot of goods of the same goods is flooded the market. If there's low supply, the prices go up. So what warehousing does is that when there's plenty of supply in the market, it will take out some of the goods from the market so that the prices don't go up or don't go down. If demand is too low, they'll offload some of the goods on the market so that the prices even down like that. Okay, reduces pilferage. So pilferage means theft. So whichever warehouse you go to, you need some sort of access either a key, access cards, and all those things. So all those things, since it's a room and it's locked, it prevents people from stealing the goods that are put in warehouses. That is another importance for warehousing. Okay, protecting goods from adverse, bad elements. So adverse bad elements means that the bad weather, the hot sun, the windy conditions, all those are elements. So when you put goods in a building, you're protecting them from the sun, you're protecting them from rain, and all the other elements that might damage those goods that you are selling. The other importance is that it provides room for the goods to be prepared, such as branding and blending. So branding simply means that whilst the goods are in a warehouse, you can actually take that advantage to name those goods that are in a warehouse. And blending means that you're actually going to mix those products that, if at all they require you to have one or two products within one product, you can take that advantage to, blend them like that. Okay. And the last one, hopefully not the least, it allows some goods such as wine, tobacco, and cheese to mature. So I'm sure you've heard of the phrase to say, wine tastes better with age. Same applies to cheese. The older the cheese, the better it tastes and the more expensive it will get. So warehousing provides for these two to sort of like mature so that they become more expensive and they taste better. Alright. Okay, not to mean that that's the exhaustive list. There are plenty of other importances that you could talk about, but these are the ones that I could think of, to just sort of like bring you to what we're talking about. Okay, goods that are not usually stored in warehouses. So before we can even get into this, I want you to take a moment, just think of any particular type of good that you think might not be stored in a warehouse, and give a reason as to why they might not be saved or stored in that warehouse or in any warehouse. Okay, because there are goods that are not stored in warehouses, and they have reasons why they can't be stored. Okay, so the first type of good that are not stored in warehouses are jewelry. So jewelry cannot be stored in warehouses, as well as pharmaceuticals, because of their technical nature. Pharmaceuticals are obviously expensive, right? As well as jewelry. They're expensive, so if you're going to put them in a warehouse, some medicines might get damaged because of the environment. Some of the jewelry might go missing. Say if you're going to put diamonds in a warehouse, definitely the value of the diamonds and the value of the warehouse will not match. Therefore, they might be easily stolen. The other type of good that might not be stored in a warehouse is perishable goods. So perishable goods are goods that are easily going to get damaged. For example, if you have bread always comes straight from the manufacturer or the bakery straight into a retailer who's going to sell it to the final consumer. You can never find bread that is taken to a warehouse and then distributed all over it. They're always delivered fresh because they're perishable. They're easily going to get damaged. So something to note. So some of the goods are not going to be stored in warehouses because they are technical and they are bulky. That means that because they are too huge, they can't be put in one warehouse. They maybe require 2, 3, and you can't build 2, 3 warehouses just to keep one thing. Okay. Others, because they want to be delivered straight to the owner of the product, so you might not need warehousing in that process. Okay. All right. So that was about warehousing today, and obviously at the end of these videos, there will be work that will be given. So work will be given in the links below, and you'll be required to go through it and come up with as many answers as you can, and we'll give you feedback obviously on the work that you've done. All right. Thank you for listening and see you next time.